We are continuing on our series of Niagara fluids in Unreal Engine. In this video, we are going to create this fire shockwave effect as you see on the screen. We are going to combine Niagara and Niagara fluids in order to create this effect. Plus, don't skip any part because I am going to show you lots of techniques for lighting, for rendering the Niagara fluids and for the quality as well. So without any delay, let's jump into Unreal Engine. I have opened my Unreal Engine scene here. As you guys can see, I have applied a default material of a landscape here. It's basically a rocky ground here and I have created just a default lighting. We are going to change the lighting as well. And as you guys can see, this is a big plane which I have basically created here and applied a black color here. So we basically get less reflections when our lights are getting bounced and when our emitter is emitting some glowing particles and it doesn't get that much bounce. So I am using this as well and there are some cameras as well. Okay, so let's start now. Let's just go to content drawer. Let's just go to my Niagara folder, right click and create a new Niagara system. I'm going to go to my template and I'm going to have a minimal here. So it's not going to have anything. We are going to start it from scratch because we want to build our shockwave first and then we are going to apply Niagara fluid to that shockwave here. So let's just click on create here and let's just name this to fire shockwave tutorial and let's just double click and open it, or let's just press enter and open it. And now you can see there is nothing here. So let's just start with our what we say emitter first. So let's just click on emitter update and let's just add a spawn rate. Now for the shockwave, we need to have at least like 2000 to 2500 particles. So let's just start with 2500 here, or maybe let's just start with 2600. And now you can see it's here only, but the size is really big, so I need to make it small as well. So let's just go to initialize particle here and we are going to make sure that our sprite size mode is set to uniform and let's just do a value of 2 here. So we have a small particle here. Okay, now I want to have a circle here and from that circle we are going to emit some shock waves. So how you can do it? So if you are new to Unreal Engine or if you are new to Niagara FX and don't know how the particles work, please check out my videos. I have created lots of videos around Niagara FX. In the last 2 videos, you will learn the basics of Niagara FX. And if you are new to Niagara Fluids, also I have a playlist for that in which I teach Niagara Fluids from start to end. So do check that out if you find this a lot more advanced. So what we are going to do now, we are going to click on our particle update. Okay, and you can see there are lots of stuff. And if I click on particle spawn, what we need a shape location here. And as soon as I do it, you will remember that we emit some particles on the shape primitives here. So we have used sphere, we have used box. Now we are going to use a ring slash disk here. And as you can see, we are having this ring. But what I want my particles to be emitted inside and then they should burst outside like this. Okay, so we can emit a shock wave. So in order to do that, you need to go to disk coverage and just make sure that disk coverage is set to 1 here. And now you can see we are emitting particles inside the disk here. Now, as you know, we need to now make them burst outside in all the 360-degree directions. So it feels like a shock wave. Now, in order to do it, it's really easy. What you need, we are going to use a new node here, which we call a point force. In order to add a point force here, you need to go to particle update and just type here point force. And as soon as I do it, you can see nothing is happening because it is telling that there is a issue. But as usual, we are going to click on fix issue here. And now you can see the particles are going outside here, but they are living longer here. Okay, I don't want my shockwave to live that much longer because if you do this, there will be lot of smoke. So let's just play with our lifetime here. Let's just go to initialize particle again. We are going to do let's say from uh let's just do a curve here. So let's just do random range float and let's just do, let's say from point 1 to point 3 here. Okay, and now you can see we are getting this particles here. Our lifetime is not that much bigger. Okay, but as you can see, our speed is not that much. Okay, because you can see they are not having that much speed. So in order to do this, we need to increase our speed as well. We need to make it fast as well. So let's just again go to point force. Let's just do this also randomization. So let's just do random range float and let's just give this a random value here. So maybe from 2000 to 3000. So let's just type 2000, and now you can see the effect here as well. And now you can see we are getting this burst type of effect in all the directions. Okay, so let's just save this, and let's just add it to our scene here, so we can see how exactly it is going to look. Okay, so let's just take this here. Let's just go to our Fire Shockwave tutorial, and I am going to add this here. So let's just drag and drop it here, and now you can see the result. So if I go here, you can see this is what I am getting here. Okay, so let's just hide the grid as well. Okay, I'm not worried about the ground material because this is going to be a top shot, so don't worry about that as well. So if I hide the grid, now you can see we are getting this particles emitting this side. Okay, so what I want now, if you want, you can move it somewhat upwards as well, something like this. And now you can see our particles are basically upwards here. Okay, so now what I want, I am going to hide this character as well. So let's just delete this. Okay, and you can see we are emitting some shock waves here in all the directions. Now we need to add some smoke and fire out of this. So it's really easy. Now you need to have to enable Niagara Fluids in order for this to work. So just go to edit plugins and make sure that Niagara Fluids is enabled. You need to go to edit plugins and Niagara Fluids. Okay, so just make sure that Niagara Fluids are enabled and Niagara sim caching is enabled. Okay, so now let's just go here, and we are going to add here what we say, uh fluid source attributes. Okay, and now it is here. Now if you remember from my fluids tutorial, you need to make sure that temperature is turned down like 0.07 or something like that. Okay, now let's just add here. So what we are going to do, we are going to right click, add emitter, and if you remember, we need a 3D gas master emitter. Okay, so here is our 3D gas master, and let's just click on add. Now, before doing anything, if you remember, this is a GPU particle system. So what we need, we basically need to make sure that our particles are also using the GPU system. Okay, so how you can do it, and now you can see we are having this smoke as well. Okay, so let's just do one by one. Let's just go to properties first. Let's just make sure that it's a GPU sim and it's fixed here. Now this is done. Now what we need else, so if I go here right now, you can see we are getting this smoke here. Okay, we don't want this, so let's just change the lighting as well. So let's just press Ctrl L, and I'm going to make sure that our lighting is somewhere around here. Yeah, something like this. Okay, now I'm going to go to my fire shockwave here. Okay, and I'm going to replace our sphere with our emitter here. So how you can do it, just go to emitter summary, go to your source tab here. Okay, and you need to make sure that in source you disable the sphere, and I'm going to work in my viewport only, because I found that when I work here it's really slow. So I'm going to just work here only and see all the updates here. Okay, so if I click here, if I go here as well, okay, and if I go back here, okay, from 0, and now you can see the result here as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make sure that my sphere is turned off here, and I'm going to make sure that this is my emitter here, and you need to make sure that emitter binding is having the same name as this particle, which is minimal. Okay, so if I type mini, you will find a minimal here, and this is done now. If I save it here, and let's just wait for it to compile. And if I go here, you can see there are no basically smoke here. Why it is so? Because you need to make sure that it is somewhat upwards from the ground as well. Okay, so just go to simulation again and just make sure that this is somewhat above the ground, like 0.45. And as soon as I do it, now you can see there is a lot of smoke here. Okay, you can see the result as well. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that it is much bigger here. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to take this around 3000, this also around 3000, and this around like maybe 300. Okay, because I want it to be shorter. And now you can see we are getting this result, but we are not seeing any smoke or something like that. Why it is? Because we need to go here and make sure that we have increased our resolution as well. So let's just start with 400. Okay, and if I go here now, you can see the result, which is looking really good here. Okay, now let's just do the lighting as well. I'm going to just first disable our sprite render and this draw bounce, and if I compile and save it again. Okay, always keep on saving because Niagara fluids are in beta, so it can crash anytime. Okay, and now you can see the result. This is looking really good. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the lighting as well. Okay, don't skip any part because there are lots of things that you are going to learn here as well. Okay, so let's just delete this, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a, let's say, area light. Let's just add a rectangle light here. Okay, you can see the result here. Let's just rotate it to 90-degree. Okay, and let's just make sure that this is somewhat in center here as well, movable. Okay, let's just make sure we are having some radius here, and I'm going to increase this. Okay, something like this, but you can see it's not looking that good. Why it is so? Because we are not casting any volumetric lights here, and we are casting volumetric lights, but we are not casting volumetric shadows here. So in order to do this, because these are all volumetric, so in order to do this, select your light and type volumetric. And here you will find cast volumetric shadow. Just turn that on, and now you can see we are having the shadows. And now in order to have shadows in your basically particles as well, just make sure that cast shadows is also turned on. And now you can see we are getting shadows of all type here. Okay, and this is looking really good here. Okay, now let's just introduce our what we say. Let's introduce what we say. So before doing that, I'm just going to make sure that it is colliding beautifully. And now if you want to collide it really beautifully, you just need to make sure that your pressure solver iterations are set higher, like maybe 12 or maybe 24. Okay, depending on the scene. And now you can see they are colliding beautifully with the ground as well. If you want, you can move it upwards, you can move it downwards. Okay, and you can see they are colliding beautifully here. Okay, but we are going to do something like this. You can keep on auto activate and turn off auto activate. Okay, let's just go to our top angle from where we are going to see this. So I have created a camera here as well from the top angle. Okay, so let's just press the G key, and now you can see the result. We are getting this shockwave here. Don't worry about the quality. We are going to increase that in our sequencer as well. So let's just go to our fire shockwave here. Now let's just keep on working. Let's just enable the temperature here, and let's just save it again. It will take some time to compile the shaders of the temperature. So just let it compile here. Okay, here you can see there are nothing here happening. Okay, we have enabled the temperature, but we cannot see the temperature. Why it is so? Because in order to see the temperature, you need to go to render and make sure your render temperature is either set to curve or it is set to black body. Okay, but if I set it to curve here, you can see we are getting this result, and you can play with the curve as well. You can make it the curve bigger, shorter, and it's basically having curve from colors. So you can do lots of stuff here, but I want it to be accurate. So I'm going to do black body here. And as soon as I do it, now you can see we are getting this result here, which is looking really good. Okay, now you can play with the black body shader as well. So if I do, let's say from temperature range from zero point 0.3 to 0.1, you can see we are not getting that much fire here. Okay, so you can play with these values here as well. So if I do 0 to zero point 0.5, let's say, and if I go here, now you can see we are getting more fire here. So you need to play with this values here in order to get the result that you want. Okay, so if I do 0 0.1, 0.2, you can see the result. So let's just do 0.9 here. Okay, and if you see here, this is looking nice. Now you can basically boost your temperature color gain as well. So if I do 2 here, you can see our colors are getting boosted here, and this is looking nice now. Now what we are going to do, we are going to make sure that our smoke color is somewhat darker, something like this. And if I go here now you can see the result. Okay, it's lot darker. So let's just make it lighter here, something like this. And you can see the result. Yeah, this is looking nice. Okay, and what I'm going to do, maybe somewhat lighter shade. Okay, like this. Yeah, this is looking nice. Now if you want, you can increase the density gain as well. You can play with all the stuff, but we are not going to go into much detail here. Then you can do the quality as well. Okay, if you want, you can render the material, change the material, and lots of stuff you can do. But let's just concentrate on this. Now let's just go to simulation again. And what you need to do, you need to play with the density buoyancy. So I don't want it to rise upward quickly. So I'm going to reduce this to minus 0.3, and now it will not rise that much upwards. Okay. So you need to play with this, and I want the smoke to dissipate faster and fire as well. So in order to do this, I'm going to make sure that my temperature dissipation is set to 2 here, and now you can see my fire is dissipating faster, and same goes for smoke as well. So let's just make this to from zero point 0.3 to maybe 0.5. Okay, and now you can see our smoke is also dissipating faster. Now what you can do, you can also play with the velocity here. Okay, so you can do lots of stuff. So if I go to my sources as well, and if I play with our temperature scale, no, if I take this to 20, and if I go here, now you can see we are not emitting that much temperature. Okay, so you can play with this color as well. So if I go to 40, it is going to be lot more hotter here. So you can see the result. So it completely depends on to your requirement, how you want it to be. Okay, and now if I go here, I can randomize the velocity scale as well. Okay, so let's just do a random range float, and maybe let's just do from 3 to 4. Okay, and if I save this here, and let's just go here, and now you can see the result. This is looking much better and much nicer here. Okay, now the only thing that you found out that this quality is not looking that great. Okay, so there is a solution. So if you want to use it for cinematics stuff, you can increase the quality as well. So if I go here, if I go to my emitter summary here, and if I go to my simulation tab here, there is a thing called resolution max axis. So if I take this to 500, okay, you can see our resolution is now increased, but as you can see, this is not looking that good. Okay, so what I found out, basically, let me show you that as well. So there is also a option to increase the resolution and make it 2 times better, but without compensating your GPU. So what you need to do, you need to go downwards here. Here, attribute resolution multiplier, it's an attribute. Okay, and if I increase this to, let's say, 2, it is going to make the quality double. So if you can see this, by increasing the resolution of this attribute grid compared to the simulation, it's possible to get render details without incurring the cost of a higher simulation. Okay, so if I take this to 2, and if I go here again, now you can see it's looking something like this. So let's just add this to sequencer and render this out. Okay, so let's just add it to sequencer. Let's just name it to fire shockwave. Okay, 1. Let's just name it to 1 here. Okay, let's just add our cine camera actor. So this is our cine camera actor here. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add my Niagara fluid system here, which is this one. Okay, and then I'm going to click on the plus icon, add our Niagara component. Okay, and then again click on the plus icon and just cache this out with the help of Niagara cache. Okay, so if I click here, and if I click on record here, it will take some time depending on to your basically GPU, but now you can see our quality is improving here. Okay, and I am also recording as well, so this is affecting my GPU as well. So whenever you are working with this, just make sure that you work only on one project. Don't work on multiple projects when you are using the Niagara fluid system. Okay, because if you use multiple projects and it's using lots of GPU, it is going to bug it down, and you are not going to get that much good results. Okay, you can say it's basically caching out our sim here, and it is going to bake it. So this is how the baking works in the sequencer. So in order to do this, you can use this as well. It is going to save your textures and your cache and all that stuff, and it is going to basically cache it out. Okay, so let's just wait. And now if I go backwards here, and if I click on play, you can see basically it's looking good, but it's not looking that good. Now why this is happening? So there is a reason for this. So if I go here, no, you can see our auto activate is turned on, and if I turn it off, you can see it's starting from this, but it shouldn't start from here. It should start from 0. Okay, so what you can do, you can delete it and you can render it again. Okay, but right now if I go here, okay, let's just drop the quality a bit because I think 400 would be higher here. Let's just go for 300. So let's just type 300 here and let's just render this again. Okay, now in order to render it again, you need to make sure that you are saving this as well. Okay, and if I go here and if I click on my record again, now it's recording again here, but as you can see there is nothing happening. Okay, now why there is nothing happening? Because you are not playing anything here. So in order to cache the sim out in some good quality, you need to make sure that you are also playing it. Okay, what I mean by that, so if I delete this, if I delete this, okay, and if I go here and if I click on play, right now you can see there is nothing happening here. Okay, if I go here as well, okay, you can see there is nothing happening here. Okay, and if I click here and if I click here as well, auto activate, you can see there is nothing happening. Now sometimes what happens, you need to play with the resolution as well. So if I do 400, you can see it's again working. Okay, so it depends on this. So let's just do maybe 350 here. Okay, and let's just go here and now you can see we are only seeing this smoke. So let's just reduce our resolution here. Okay, so from maybe from 2 to let's just do 1.3 here. Okay, and let's just see it's not working that great. Okay, let's just do 1 here. So it's totally in beta stage, guys. You need to play with the values here in order to get the result, and now you can see the result again. Okay, so you need to totally play with the values. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you my render sim that I have done here, because this is going to take a lot of time to cache out and to play with all the settings, and plus I'm recording. That why it's using the GPU as well. So let me just show you what I have done. Let me just open my level. So if I go to my content and if I open this fire shockwave, which I have created here, and now if I go to my camera here, okay, you can see the result here as well. Okay, so if I press the G key, okay, and if I hide the plane here, and now you can see the result here. Okay, so this is what I have got here. So if you want, you can change the camera as well to see the different results, and now you can see this is the result that I am getting. Okay, and there are some lights. Just make sure that you enable the cast volumetric shadows, or else it is not going to look good, and make sure that your particles are also casting the shadows here. Okay, and if you want to render this with path tracing, you can do that as well. Okay, so if I open my sequencer here, okay, and now you can see I have rendered it out using the same method here. So if I just click here, now you can see the result. See, okay, so this is how you can do this. So if I go to my top angle, you can see how this is looking here, and if I go to my this camera, you can see how it is going to look here as well. Okay, so if I play this out, I am hiding my character here. Okay, and if I play this out, you can see the result. See, this is looking great. Okay, so this is how you can create some fire shockwaves with the help of Niagara Fluids. You totally need to play with the settings, the render quality, because it depends on the GPU as well. I have also shown a method which is overriding the uh, quality when you are just going to render it. So you can do that as well. Just look at that as well. So you will get some really good results. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please press that like button, share it with your friends who wants to learn Unreal Engine, and please subscribe to my channel. I will see you next time, guys. Bye bye. Take care.